Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I used to think loyalty was something you proved over time, quietly, through consistency. I never imagined I'd be forced to test it in the middle of a dinner table, with wine glasses half full and laughter hanging in the air. But that's exactly where everything changed. My wife, Sarah, and I had been married for 6 years. Not perfect years, but steady ones. I was the predictable one. Same job, same routine, same calm reactions. She used to say that's what she loved about me, that I was stable, dependable, unshakable. I believed her. I built my life around that role. The man who doesn't overreact. The man who understands. The man who lets things slide. That night we were out with friends at a small Italian place we'd been to dozens of times. Familiar faces, familiar jokes, the kind of dinner where no one expects anything memorable to happen. Conversation bounced from work complaints to vacation plans. Someone joked about ride-or-die loyalty in relationships, and one of our friends laughed and asked Sarah, "So if it came down to it, who would you choose? Your husband or your best friend?" She didn't hesitate. She smiled, tilted her head and said, "Oh please. You know I'd always choose him. Not you." She nodded toward her best friend across the table, laughing like it was obvious. Like it was harmless. Like it was nothing. The table laughed. Someone clinked a glass. It was framed as a joke, so I smiled too. That's what I'd always done. But something inside me shifted, not loudly, not dramatically. It was quieter than that. Like a door closing softly in a room you didn't realize you were standing in. I told myself it didn't matter. That word spoken casually didn't outweigh years of marriage. But then she kept going, teasing, explaining how her best friend just gets her, how I was solid but boring, how it was good I didn't take things personally because that's why this works. More laughter. More wine. I listened. Really listened. And for the first time, I heard myself the way she'd been presenting me to other people for years. Reliable. Safe. Replaceable. Someone finally looked at me and said, "What about you?" The tone was playful but expectant. They were waiting for the punchline. Waiting for me to brush it off. I took a sip of water, set the glass down and said calmly, "Well, if that's how it is, then I'll have to choose myself." The table went quiet for half a second, then someone laughed awkwardly, assuming I was joking too. Sarah rolled her eyes. "Relax," she said. "You're so dramatic." I was kidding. But I wasn't joking. And I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her of anything. I didn't storm out. I just stopped participating. The rest of dinner passed in a blur of conversation that felt distant, like it was happening in another room. On the drive home she talked like nothing had happened. Complained about the food, about traffic, about how tired she was. At a red light, she finally glanced at me and frowned. "You've been quiet. Are you seriously still on that?" I kept my eyes on the road. "I'm not on anything," I said. "I just heard you." She scoffed. "You heard a joke." "No," I replied. "I heard where I stand." That annoyed her. I could tell by the way she crossed her arms and stared out the window. "You're reading too much into it," she said. "I chose you. I married you. Isn't that enough?" It used to be. That was the problem. At home she went straight to bed. I stayed up, sitting at the kitchen table in the dark, replaying moments I'd brushed off over the years. The jokes at my expense. The way decisions were made without me. The assumption that I'd always adapt, always bend, always stay. By morning, nothing had magically resolved itself. She expected it to. I could see it in the way she kissed my cheek like a reset button, in the way she asked what I wanted for breakfast. Normalcy, offered like an apology that required no words. "I need to talk," I said. She sighed, already irritated. "About what? Last night? I told you I was joking." "That's the thing," I said. "You always are. And I'm always the one expected to understand." She sat down across from me, defensive now. "So what, you want me to apologize for having a personality?" "I want to know if you respect me," I said. She hesitated. Not long, but long enough. "I love you," she said finally, like that answered the question. I nodded slowly. "I know. But love without respect turns into convenience. And I don't want to be the convenient choice anymore." Her face hardened. "You're overreacting." Maybe. That's what I'd been told every time I noticed the pattern. But overreacting or not, something had already broken. Not because of one joke, but because that joke fit too perfectly into everything else. I didn't leave that day. Or the next. I didn't make threats or ultimatums. I just stopped pretending I hadn't heard the truth when it was spoken out loud. I chose myself quietly, the same way I'd always chosen her. And for the first time she noticed the silence.